Hi everyone, it's Rach here from the We Network, and I'm excited today because we are talking with Christine Sheehy from christinesheehy.co, and Christine is a copywriter, an author, and a few other things as well, all based around using words in a magical way to get your message across. And I just love copywriting, and I think that it's a hidden gem and it's a hidden or a forgotten trick for many people in business. And I can't wait to hear what she's got to talk to us about today. So we're going to be focusing on if you are DIYing your website and your copy and your message across all your platforms. Generally, a lot of us have got a lot to learn in terms of copy and how to speak our message to people in a way that resonates with them. So this bootcamp is for you if you feel like your copy could do with some tweaks and you want to make sure that your copy is helping you connect with your audience and also helping you to make sales for your brand. So welcome, Christine.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
No problem. Can't wait to sort of hear your thoughts today because, as you know, I'm a big copy fan and really do feel like it's a missed trick for so many people. And you can get the same product, the same website, and one could have bad copy and one could have good copy, and one could be making 10 sales and one could be making 100. That's the difference that it could make.
Absolutely, yeah. It's about engaging with your audience and also persuading your audience to follow along with you, to get to know you and trust you, and ultimately to buy your products. And I'm a firm believer that copywriting is not something you can farm out entirely. You actually, in this age where we're sharing on social media, might be blogging, sending emails to our people, there's so much content that we need to create and you can't do it all on video. But you actually have to have the skills to be able to write confidently about your business and to share your message consistently across all those platforms.
But even if you are doing it on video, it's still the same. You still need to really understand your message and you still really need to understand what sets you out, that stands you out from everyone else, because otherwise your video is just the same as everybody else's.
Yes,
so it's almost just the same with videos as with everything else, but writing, obviously, there's more skill to it, I guess, in a different way. Yeah,
but that's planning out your video and also the content that goes around it, the posts that you write and the way that you express that message. At the end of the day, it all comes back to knowing your whole message and then being able to articulate that in whatever form.
And I think that that's a problem that a lot of small businesses have, is that I know from experience, from talking to people, and I mean, I did it myself, was just jumped into business without really doing very much idea validation or market research around it. And I know a lot of the women in the We community are in that same place. So there you are with a product, you believe in it, you think other people are going to like it, maybe a few people have bought it, and then you're like, okay, well, I've committed now, I'm going to keep driving that product home, but you don't quite know how to make the sales. And even if you're building the audience, sometimes you're still not making the sales. So there's just so many things that we struggle with as women in business over time. And I think focusing on getting your copy right does more than just change what's written on your website or your what you talk about in your videos. It helps you really solidify what your business is about and why it's different. And if you haven't been through that process yet, then focusing on your copy can really help you with that. And then you are the number one spokesperson for your brand. No one else is going to understand it better than yourself.
Yes. And it's common for people to feel like they know what they do, but they just don't know how to articulate that. So you go along to that networking meeting and you kind of fluffy words, or you end up with a rambling explanation. And then you feel frustrated because you kind of missed that opportunity, or you haven't quite conveyed it. You knew that the other person didn't really get it. And so spending that time getting really clear and knowing what your business is all about really will help you in every aspect, not just the copy, but how you show up in every respect.
And actually something else also you saying that reminded me of, I went to an entrepreneur event not long ago and I met a couple actually, and I met the husband first, and they were really lovely, an older couple, and they owned a business that, well, when I asked him what he did, I actually think he was talking for about 5 minutes and I didn't quite know what he did at the end of it. And then so I was kind of standing there a bit baffled, and I knew it was something to do with supplying companies and furniture and stuff, but I couldn't quite get it. Then she came over and she gave like the perfect one 30-second pitch of what the business is. And it was they create customized furniture for corporate businesses. So for companies that don't want to have a real corporate feel, they go in and build their furniture for them. Yeah. And it's like, hey, how can he struggle so much to articulate when it seems from an outsider's perspective that it's so easy and clear? But I think sometimes you get so involved in your own business yourself that you can't see the wood for the trees. So you forget kind of how simple the message is sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's also sometimes looking for the benefits beyond the benefits. So, it might be, we do office furniture, but actually what we do is we create corporate environments that feel like home.
Yeah.
That's the engaging, the interesting part. Oh, really? How do you do that? What's that about?
They need you.
But it's true for all of us. You could say, oh yeah, I'm a copywriter, boring. Nobody wants to really, then what do we even talk about? But it's that it's helping people actually to get clear on their ideas and bring them out to the world. That is the sort of magic that goes behind that. Yeah. And a key thing I like to ask my clients to do is talk to some of their customers and ask them, how did I help you? But how else did I help you? And how else did I help you? Because that's where you really get to the juicy bit, the real benefit of working with you. And so it might be that you helped them, I don't know, declutter their home, but actually what you did is you helped their marriage over here, because now they're not arguing so much. And those can be really great benefits to bring into your copy, not necessarily into that what do you do part, but just to actually show all the ripple effects of the work that you're doing.
Yeah, and I think that's something that you touched on. The features of what you offer is different to the benefits of what you offer, because the benefits can often be those really deep emotional benefits that you don't stop to think of when you're writing the copy for your website. So let's get down to it then. We're specifically today, we're going to be focusing on your about page, just to give us some structure behind the conversation so that we don't keep it too long, because it's a big topic. But Christine and I were talking about how everything that we speak about today really is transferable across to your whole website. And obviously there are some things that you'll be able to take from this about page discussion and apply elsewhere, but also the foundation stages for it are applicable throughout, right? Yeah. So if one was looking at doing a site refresh and redo my own copy, where would I start?
So the first place to start is with a little bit of a reflection on what your core message is. So that's what your business is all about, how you really help your customer. So that's the benefits beyond benefit. And what sets you apart from other people in your field. So it's just spending a bit of time journaling on this, really going deep and figuring out what is the one thing that I'm here to share. So it's not necessarily about coming up with a cute tagline or any words that are going to go on your site, but it's you having a really clear idea of what is the big idea that underlies everything that you do. And there's a process I've got for that I'll share at the end.
Okay, because I'm seriously writing down here.
Okay. But you can't go and write your site or show up to a copywriter and go, just write my site, I do X, and expect that it's going to have that real sort of emotion and depth behind it, because you're the only one that's got that, but you've got to spend the time reflecting and getting clear on your core message first so that you know what it is that you're here to share. So that's the number one, is just get clear on that idea, and that idea should flow consistently through all your websites so that people know what you're about no matter where they land.
And if you're not sure about how to get clear on that idea, do what Christine said before, which is ask your customers and push them when you ask them to the next level, like how else did I help you, how else did I help you, and then really get them thinking about the deeper benefit of the work that you did with them.
Yeah. So for an example, I was looking today at the Awesome website, the Gratitude Girls, and they talk about making happier lives. It's not selling your gratitude journal; it's actually bringing more happiness into your daily life. That's the big aim, the big goal behind what they're doing. So, and it's important to remember that people are going to come at your site from all different places too. They don't necessarily go to the homepage and start there. They might come through a blog. They might click across from your Facebook. They might, someone might send them a link to something. So to a product or a service. So that message has got to be consistent across so that people know what you're all about when they land on that page. So that's the underlying idea. And then the second thing is to just really get clear on who you're writing for. So your tone and the words that you use is going to be really different depending whether you have a corporate audience or you have like a mum's audience or whoever it is, it's an athlete. I'm not a huge one for ideal client exercises because I find them a little bit limiting and they can feel artificial. But what can be really useful is to think about who's my favorite customer, who's the person who got either got really great results from what I'm doing, or that I just really loved working with them. They totally got it. You know, we were on the same wavelength, and it was a real pleasure to work with them because that's what we want more of, right? Those customers that are a great fit for the work that you're doing. And it can be really useful to write your copy as if you're writing it for them. What were they struggling with in broad terms? How did I help them?
Wow.
And what did they need to hear from me to know that this was going to work for them?
Question for you, and we touched on this before we started recording as well. If you're a product-based business and you sell products and you don't have that sort of service-based community around your product, maybe, then how do you do that?
Yeah, then you have to, if you don't have a connection with your customers in the sense that you're not in a shop and talking to them, so you're just you're behind your computer, then if you've got customer feedback, that can be a really useful place to start. Any sort of testimonials you've got, sending out a customer survey afterwards, see what they tell you, what were they, ask them, what were they struggling with, why did they buy this, how has it helped them, and or you may have to actually do some visualization around who's this person that needs this product, what is it that they really need, and how can I present it to them in a way that they'll understand it's going to help them.
Yeah, because I think sometimes with product people, they struggle to understand that connection between the actual product that they've got, that they know that the people that they sell it to love it, and they think that more people will love it, but they can't. I think they sometimes struggle to articulate those benefits because maybe, again, they may be too deep in business themselves, or they just haven't been able to hear enough feedback from their customers perhaps to quite understand those core emotional benefits. But you can get it from any type of product, really.
You can. And another great place to look if you haven't got customers yet is Amazon and Yelp reviews.
Oh, okay.
So go and look up a similar product on Amazon and read through the reviews and look at why they bought it. Because people often write quite a lot of stuff on an Amazon review. And read also the 1- and 2-star reviews, because they will tell you, I was looking for this and I didn't get it. So that can give you a clue as to how you can adjust your product or position your product so that people can understand how it will help them, or what's missing in the market even. So that's a really good place to start. Also, just Facebook chats can be great too. So if you're selling, say, baby products, being in some mum groups and hearing what people are what issues they're dealing with or why they didn't like certain products can be a good place.
I think that's a good one, and it's something that I've always focused on as well, is asking people if something's not working for them, because sometimes you get that reveal of, okay, well, hang on, I'm not quite delivering on this. And also it makes asking for feedback less scary because you're open to the fact that some of your product or service isn't going to be perfect. And when you're in a space where you think you've got this incredible product or service and there's no problems with it, then that's probably a bad space to be in, because I guarantee you there's going to be some sort of issues. There's always going to be something that you can improve on in your business and in your service and in your delivery. So if you're looking at your customer feedback and constantly asking them, what could I be doing better with? What are you not getting that you wanted to get? Then you're starting to touch on some of those questions, or were you disappointed with this product at all? And that might sound like a really hard question to ask, because you don't want to hear what people say. Like, I know what it's like. It's really hard when people say they've been disappointed with your service or they weren't happy with the product. But that's just a golden opportunity to refine your offering and make sure that other people in the future aren't feeling the same thing. Because if one person thinks it, probably other people are too.
Yeah, that's a really great tip. And actually, sometimes it might just be that your copy isn't quite right in the way that you're positioning it. And if you positioned it, got the wording right at the start, then they wouldn't have had that expectation.
Yeah.
Or that you can tweak it to better meet their needs.
Yeah, and I do think that's key, because, and I've always had this thing in business to under promise and over deliver. And it's really interesting because with Kiwi Oz, I feel like I've been through a transition with that, because it's such a high-end product that we sell at Kiwi Oz. So we can spend a lot of time making sure that we over-deliver, because basically people are going to nanny agencies in London paying £3,000 to find a nanny, and then that was basically the finish of it. That was the end of the relationship. It's like a recruitment company.
Wow.
Whereas with Kiwi Oz, once you've done that, you become part of this big community that we've created over there for families and for nannies, and there's events and there's all sorts of things, training and all sorts of stuff that goes on. So it wasn't really very hard to over deliver on the promise because no one else was delivering on it. So, however, with the WE network and starting again, I'm like, man, I'm scared to put some of this stuff in my copy, because I'm worried that I'm not going to have time to deliver on the promises, and then people are going to get upset about it. I want to be delivering this stuff, but I have to be constantly saying to people, am I actually delivering that? Or how else do you guys think I could be delivering that? And that's been an important part of the Members Club for me getting started, is being able to have everyone so amazing at giving their feedback and being open about what's working with them and what's not, because I feel like we're kind of creating something together. And that's what being open to feedback has given me. So it is it's a mindset shift, because I've had to stop getting feeling personally affronted by feedback about things that people don't like, and start seeing the opportunity and creating this incredible product.
Yeah. So it's good to me too. I wonder how that can help me. I wonder how that can help me move forward, or help treating it with that curious mindset. There's always there in the feedback, even if it's hard to swallow at the time.
And then you can reflect that properly in your copy if you know that it might be a difference of saying we're offering this at the moment, to saying it's in the pipeline, or that's then people don't expect it to be there right away, but they know it's coming up. So that's just the change of copy that gives people an expectation shift.
Communication, always down to communication, and people generally are quite forgiving, I think, as long as you're telling them what's happening and giving them time frame to move along.
Okay, great. So first of all, we start with our reflections, and then we move on to making sure that we know who we're writing about, and focusing on that's one person perhaps who really epitomizes that perfect customer for you, and thinking about their problems and how you can help overcome them, and getting really clear on that message.
Yeah. And the key thing there is actually to use your customers' exact words. So I have a notebook. Some people use the notes on their phone, some people use a spreadsheet, whatever works. And when I'm on the phone with a client, or engaging with a client in email or social media, if they say, oh, I just wish I could sort this, or this is really driving me crazy right now, write it down. And then those exact words are absolute gold for using in your copy, because nothing resonates quite the same way as the way someone would say it, right? It's natural for someone to say, oh, I've got a closet full of clothes and nothing to wear, right? I wish I had, I don't know, I'm struggling to think of an example right this second. But it's the way that your customer articulates the client is so much more meaningful than you artificially trying to come up with that yourself. So when you get those little nuggets, this is where I'm having a problem. This is how it feels. I really just feel like such a failure because XYZ. You can write those down, and then when you bring that into your copy, it's going to engage much more with other people like that. They're going to see themselves reflected in those words.
It's so funny that you say that, because I actually noticed there's a difference as well between how people write in a Facebook community or via email or to private message. I'll find people send me PMs sometimes that have got those golden nuggets in them, because they're so casual and people don't think, and they write them so fast. It's almost like they're writing what they say, whereas there's a subtle difference between that, and people put a lot of thought into how they write into a Facebook post, a group post if they've got a question or a help question, whereas if they're just private messaging, it's like, Rach, what do you think about this? I can't figure it out. Or, it's just much more natural. Yeah.
That's true. It's very casual. So that's a good space to look is at those Facebook messages. But just keep a note of them so that you have it in the back of your diary, all these little gems. And when you come to write your page, you can bring that out. So when you're describing the problem, take her words, put them straight in.
Okay. And so what would you move on to after you feel like you're confident, or you've got at least, as Christine did say before as well, guys, this is a moving ballpark. Like, you've just got to start somewhere with it, and it's not going to be perfect the first time around. So just do what you can. Keep in mind what we've said in this, and do what you can from it. And then even if you, for example, haven't had time to go and ask your customers, do the visualization, or and do it yourself, and then schedule, just get it done, and then schedule in a couple of weeks or something to go and get that feedback from your customers, and then you can redo it and tweak it. But it's a process that will evolve over time.
Yeah, absolutely. Your business is going to evolve, so it will shift as you add a new service, you change direction. You just got to get something up and then refine it as you go. That's for those starting out. It's like best to just get the copy done. Don't worry about being perfect. Done is better than perfect, and you will come back to it when you get more clarity as you go through and refine it to better reflect. And with the visualization stuff, it can be really helpful to just sort of, before you start writing, close your eyes and imagine yourself in a room full of those ideal clients, and they're all banging their heads, I've got this problem and I don't know how to fix it, and just feel that, and then you can go and write from that space, because you're like, this is what she needs to know to help her deal with this problem. This is what I need to communicate to her. So that's a helpful sort of centering exercise. But in terms of actually writing the copy, the first thing is to know the purpose of the page. So before you start, that's my about page. What do I want people to know and do here? So with your about page, it's going to be, you want them to get to know you a little bit, to build that relationship so they can start to trust you and feel confident doing business with you. And I think that applies as much to a product business as it does to a service business, because you're handing over your credit card details on the internet, and who hasn't had that experience of going to a site and thinking, am I going to get scammed here? Am I safe giving away my credit card details on this site? So showing the people behind the business, I think, is really important, no matter what it is that you're selling. And then the second aim of your about page is going to be for people to do something. So what do you want them to do? You want them to either sign up for your mailing list, or you might want them to straight away go and book a taster session. So decide what that's going to be, and then write from there. So, and for your homepage, it will be, they need to know what this website, what my business is about, and how I can help them, and whether it's for them or not. And because you've only got a few seconds when somebody lands on your homepage for them to actually decide, yes, I'm interested, no, I'm not, they've clicked away. And then again, you'd want them to get on your mailing list. It's probably the main objective of that homepage. And service page is obvious what you want them to do there. But again, when you go into a blog, you should again be getting people onto your list. That should be an objective of your blogs, not just writing this here, but you want to show what they should be doing after they've read that blog.
Actually, on product sites as well, this is just a general question which I'm interested in the answer to. And I'm trying to think of big retail stores. Generally, their homepage is just directly products, isn't it? And so that almost makes the about page even more important, because if you go on to like an online retail store or someone that's selling products and their homepage is product, that's great, because the product is what you want to buy, and it's visual. It's kind of like the visual copy. But I'll often, before I actually purchase, check out the about page as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a difference between buying from somewhere, say, like Farmers or Target if you're overseas, and so it's a brand you already know and trust, and then buying from a little retailer who you may not have heard before. So if you're buying from the small person, then that connection, that relationship is just as important. So it's not an about page about the products, it's about the people selling the products and why they sell the products.
Yeah. So if you're a small product seller, if you're a small business and you're a product seller, are you better to have your product on the homepage, or are you better to have a mixture of product and copy?
I would say a mixture and copy usually. It will depend always on the business, but I think you want a little bit of copy. I like quite clean homepages, not a huge amount of text, but enough to say, this is what I'm about, this is why you're here, here's something you might love, and that might be, go here to learn more, go to my about page if you're a services provider, or it might be, look at these gorgeous products.
Yeah.
But it's giving that sense of personality. People are really craving that connection, and I think beautiful, honest, authentic. People don't like the word authentic, so they say it's overused. It's because it has meaning, right? if they're dealing with a small business, they kind of want to know, have that relationship. And when you can't go into the shop and chat to the person behind the counter, the website is your opportunity to create that connection, that sense of this is a space you want to be in.
Yeah, and I think it's just so important, because New Zealand, particularly doing business in New Zealand, where people support small business so much. So if, for me, I've got the option of buying a product from a small business or a bigger company, I generally always prefer to buy it from a small business owner. But if I go to their website and I'm like, oh man, it's just, disappointing, then it's problematic for people, because you're putting people off by not having that stuff down pat on your website. And the website is your reflection of your business. And that's why things like copy on your website and images on your website are so important.
Yeah, and it just comes down to that relationship at the end of the day, I think. And yeah, if I go to a website and it's just product, I kind of feel a bit like, oh, I don't know who this is I'm giving my money to. So just invite them in.
Yeah, and so like what you said before about with your about page, it's not about the product, it's about the person behind the product and why you are selling the product. So that gives people that sort of deeper understanding of the person that owns the business and what motivates them, helps them connect with that person on a deeper level, because they might have shared values that come through in that copy. So instead of in your about page saying, I'm Rachel Lewis, the founder of the We Network, and I started the We Network because small business owners need some help and support and training, I talk about my journey, or, the problems that I had and the things that helped me overcome them, and that's why it's led me to start doing what I want to do.
Yeah, and so that's an opportunity to share your story, and every business has a story, and it doesn't matter what you're selling, whether it's everything from, I don't know, nails and screws and carpentry products through to, there's always a story, and it might be your why you care about this product so much, or it might be something that you've overcome on the journey to actually be doing this now. But sharing that story invites people in and lets them feel like they know you and trust you before they actually book a session, buy a product, and so on. And it's just so much more engaging than just the nuts and bolts of it all. And if you're selling ethical homewares or organic products, there's a reason why you're doing that. Why have you chosen these products? Why do you care so much about this? What's your motivation, your why behind that? And that's there'll be people that will really speak to, and they'll support you for that reason.
Yeah, and actually someone posted in the Facebook group, I think it was just yesterday, and one of her comments was that she had a what do you call it, like a market stall, selling kombucha and some other organic type products, I think. And she was just questioning whether it was worth continuing on with the business because of various reasons, the weather and various other obstacles. But also she said, do people question their ethics around business sometimes? Because I look over and I see things like donuts covered in sugar selling way more than my nice organic created in New Zealand products. But that's about messaging as well. And what I said to her was, you just need to forget about them because you've chosen those products for a reason. And if you've chosen them, forget about what everyone else is selling and just become the best seller of those products that you can. Because there are people selling those products who are making money selling those products. Yeah. And, that's about figuring out your message, figuring out your target audience, and pulling it all together and knowing what that audience and that message is, and promoting your business in the way that it should be promoted. Yeah. So it's a valuable kind of lesson to learn that your copy is your representation of your business in as much as your product is. Yeah, that's right. And there's always going to be someone doing it a different way and taking an opposing view, but that actually gives you opportunities too to actually come up with blogs and content that can support your point of view. You might look at the donut seller and that gives you a topic to blog about. Hear about what you're doing. So it's looking for the opportunities there again and being curious about, what can I learn from what they're doing here and how can I apply that in my content. Okay, cool. So just to recap, you start with the reflection, make sure you focus on who your customer is, do your research of your customers, ask them questions, do your visualization if you need to, really, really get clear on that message. And then when you're looking specifically at your About Us page, focus on not promoting the product that you're selling, but focus on putting your message across, why you're selling it, and create your message around that. And I think the key thing that comes to me from talking about this is just that it's those initial stages that are really, really important. And if you're struggling to write the copy on your website because you're not good at writing, because a lot of people aren't, you can always bullet point some of those key benefits, or it doesn't have to be written in stunning prose, in paragraph after paragraph of writing. It could just be beautiful image of yourself with your products, showing your pride, and then explaining underneath it how you got to where you are and what a difference it's going to make, what difference it's made in your life, and why you think it's going to make a difference into other people's lives as well.
There was an About page I love that she's actually changed it now, which I was so disappointed.
Oh, no.
She's a stylist, and she wrote a list. So she said, I love hot cups of tea, a full fridge, the stars in the middle of the desert or something. I don't know, a whole long list of things she loved. And then she talked about her styling. These are the things I'd bring into your wedding, your event, your da-da-da. And it was just so, the list was really emotive, really personal. It made me feel like, oh, I know, she's I would like to hang out with. I love those things too, And then it was how she helped me. So that is another key thing to talk about, and particularly for service-based businesses, is that your About page is not really about you. It's about how you help your customer. So anything that you're sharing on there is coming back to that point of, how do I help them through the struggle? So, I had a kid when I was 6. That stuff might be cute and funny, but it's not really relevant.
Yeah, you've got to keep in mind the whole time that the point of it is to sell something. So for me, I'll be saying, well, look, I started my business 15 years ago, and it took such a long time to get traction. And, I faced a lot of obstacles, and I didn't have much of a network around me. And it took me a long, long time to get somewhere. And I can see that happening in many other women's businesses, even though now we've got the internet and so many other opportunities to connect with each other. So I don't want other women in business to take as long as I took to get to where I got to. And I want to help people get there faster. And they can do that by doing this, 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 and this, and sign up.
That's essentially it. It's like, if I were to run through a little sort of a formula for doing an About page that you can take and adjust however you want, it would be, start with a hook, start with something engaging, like describing that woman who's struggling in her business and what it feels like to be in that situation. You feel overwhelmed, you don't know where to go for help, and you just wish there was a network you can call on that would help you solve this, and this problem. It's some sort of engaging piece at the top of your page that lets people know, yes, I want to know more about this. It could be a quote or a thought-provoking statement. It could be a question. It could be, imagine what it would be like if. So start with something that sets the scene. And then you want to throw them a lifeline. So you've just described the problem. You just let them know, you're struggling in business, da-da-da. The lifeline will be, that's why I created the WE Network. That's why I sell this product, to help you get from here to here. And then you'd introduce yourself. So you'd start with the hook, then the lifeline, and then introduce yourself. I'm Rachel Lewis. I'm the founder of da-da-da. I created this to help people do blah, blah, blah. And this is, I think credentials is somewhere where people often get stuck. It's like, do I have to include all my degrees, or do I include my tenure? I have got all these things on my CV. It's not your whole CV. It's whatever qualifies you to be doing what you're doing right now. And so that might be actually life experience. So you created a business at 23 and you went through all this and discovered how isolating it is, and that's why you're doing it. It might be that you had a 10-year corporate career and you got burned out, and so you then went and retrained as a health coach, and this is your story. So you don't have to go into everything, and you don't have to feel like you need a piece of paper to do what you're doing if you've got that life experience that has led you to amass the knowledge and experience to be able to share that. So just share what they need to know that you can do the job.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I would do is talk about how you help. So I do coaching, or I run my signature program, or through my Facebook group, whatever it is, list out how you help people and then tell them what to do next. So come and book a session, come and download my easy guide to XYZ, and that's it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think, I think the funny thing is with a topic like this, I think that some people would have come on thinking, oh, this is going to be good. I'm going to be able to do this and then go away and, create my about page. It's going to be quite easy. But like anything, I think there's a lot of underground work that needs to go on in order to really make it stunning. But as we said earlier, it's a moving process. And even just having listened to this, you're going to be thinking about what's on your about page, looking at it, reflecting on how well it touches on those key points that we've gone over a few times today, and then start thinking, okay, well, I could do a couple of quick changes and then start working on that early stage foundations, the getting to think about my customer a little bit more and how I'm going to craft that proper message. So, and actually talking on those early stage foundations, Christine has got a opt-in, which is on her website, which we'll post the link for below. And that is going to be all about how to refine that key, that core message for yourself. So it's just going to be going over again some of the things that we've talked about here and expanding on that a little bit in a free opt-in. That's right, isn't it, Christine?
Yeah. It's around journaling into some key questions that will help you get really clear on that message, so you know what you bring out in your site, because it's all about letting them know who you are, how you can help them, letting them know that you get their struggles, and then offering them that solution.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christine. That is brilliant, and I think really useful. I'm really interested in hearing that information for myself, because I think there are a lot of people that do DIY it in the early stages before they can afford to outsource this kind of thing. So, giving this information to them will help them hopefully get to the outsource stage a little bit quicker, because they'll be able to refine their own product in the meantime. So really, really important stuff. Really grateful for you for coming along today and sharing it with us. And look forward to speaking with you on the live Q&A, which we will put the date down for below as well. So that'll be later in the month. Thanks a lot, Christine.
Thanks, Rachel.
Bye.